Today I'm going to show you a post-workout yoga routine that's going to open up and lengthen out all those muscles that you've been working. So this routine is going to target all the major muscle groups of the body and hopefully gives you a chance through that calm yoga breath as well to bring the heart rate down and to bring the body back into a nice calm state. So we're going to start in a downward dog, coming onto your hands and onto your toes. Lengthen back through the hips, spread through the heels until they might reach the floor, they might not. Let's just take a few breaths here to really lengthen the back. Press the hands into the floor, lift your hips away. And then just to take this into the calves a little bit more, you're going to take your left foot and bring it across the right ankle, sinking the weight into the right heel. Let's find our yoga breath here. Inhale to lengthen the body for a count of 5. And then exhale, sink the right heel down for a count of 5. Each inhale, long, steady breaths. Each exhale, emptying every drop of air. And then on your next inhale, lifting the right leg, and let's step it through on the exhale, drop the back knee. Inhale to raise the arms up into a low lunge. So you have an option here to stay with the arms reaching towards the sky as we ground that right knee down. Or you could take the left arm onto the knee and reach this right hand even further up. You might find this gives you a more intense opening into the right hip flexor, which is where we're targeting with this one. Let's take one more breath here. And on your exhale, bring the hands either side of the front foot. I'm going to tuck the back toes just enough to give you some space to wriggle that left shin down onto the ground. And then you can take the right foot further back. It's coming into pigeon pose now, targeting the glutes, the outside of the right hip here. As you inhale, lengthen up through the spine, try and find nice level hips so you're not sinking off to one side. And then on your next exhale, reaching the body long over the front leg. So you're aiming to bring your belly button up and over the front ankle. I'm going to take 5 breaths here to settle into the stretch. So each time you exhale, relax and release into the left hip. And if you find that this stretch starts to subside, you can reach a little bit further forwards with the hands and release the forehead to the floor. Next time you inhale, walk the hands back. We're moving now from the left glutes into the right quads. So just wriggle this left foot into the middle. And then we're going to bend through the right knee. Reach back for that foot. And depending on your flexibility here, you might be able to push that in towards the body as you sit tall. Aim to squeeze the right glutes here to lengthen through the front of the right thigh. And releasing the hips lower with each exhale, softening into the posture. Next time you exhale, release the back toes. Hands come to the floor. And let's lift up and back to downward facing dog. Give yourself a little wriggle of the heels for a moment here. And then we're going to take the right ankle across the left so that we have a chance to lengthen the left calf out. Hands are spread, using all of the hands to lengthen the body back towards the hips, and we're drawing the hips upwards and backwards. At the same time, lengthening the left leg down towards the ground. Next time you inhale, release the right foot and bring it between the hands. As you exhale, bring the back knee to the floor, and then we'll inhale to lift the arms up. Softening the shoulders as you press the left glutes forward, so you're really opening up the left hip here. Option again to take the right elbow onto the knee and to reach across the body to intensify that stretch in the left hip. Just going to take one more breath here. And then as you exhale, bring the hands either side of the front foot. Tuck the back toes to allow you to bring the right shin down, ready for pigeon pose on this side. So we'll take the left foot away, settle into your hips, finding level hips, rolling this left one forwards and down. As you inhale, lift up through the chest. And as you exhale, start to reach over the body, lengthening into a 7 out of 10 in terms of intensity here. So we don't want to go too far. We want to be at a point where we can still relax into the stretch. Breathing deep breaths right into the base of your belly. And each time you exhale, soften into the right hip. See if you can release anything that's tight, anything that's holding on. On your next inhale, walking the hands back in. Tuck the back toes and let's go to downward dog again. So you can walk your dog here, bending one knee at a time. And then coming onto the knees, just drop the knees to the floor. Sit back onto the heels. And we're going to take a stretch for the triceps now. So you're going to bend through the right arm and bring that hand into the middle of your shoulder blades. This is option one. If this feels pretty tight, then just stay here. If you have some more availability, you could take the left hand down and around and meet in the middle. So that's your option if you want to intensify this opening of the shoulders and the triceps. Keeping the spine nice and upright, keeping the upper hand in the middle of the back. Let's take one more breath here. And then releasing. Have a little shake out of the arms before we take the left arm up into the same posture. So left hand comes into the middle of the shoulder blades. Right hand comes down and around. This is usually the tricky one if you're right-handed. So have a little wriggle to get into position. And then lengthen the spine. Be mindful that you want to keep your ribs knitted down. So you don't want to be arching your back just so that you can get hold of the hands. Draw the ribs down and lengthen up through the top of the head. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Each exhale, softening and releasing. And then unravel, have a little shake out. We're going to take the hands forwards, round the back, tuck the chin, and just take 3 or 4 breaths to spread the shoulders, lengthen the neck, stretch each shoulder blade around the side of your body so that you're broadening the gap between them. And then as you come up, take the hands behind you, clasp them together, roll open through the chest. On an inhale, draw the hands away, spread through the collarbones. And perhaps you can reach down towards your feet here. Lift and open through the front body, and maybe take the chin up towards the sky for a little extra stretch in the front of the neck as well. Next time you inhale, come on up, release, shake out, and then bring it onto hands and knees, onto a tabletop position. Just going to take some hip circles here to release the lower back and the hips. Taking 5 in one direction, and then 5 in the other direction. From here, the right hand slides underneath the left armpit. Bring your right shoulder to the floor, and then lengthen the left hand forwards. Sitting your weight into the right shoulder and leaning into that shoulder until you get a nice stretch around the corner of the back here. To intensify the stretch, you can reach this right hand further through the gap, or you can lengthen the left hand further forwards. Next time you inhale, bring the hands back in, press your way back up, And let's repeat that on the other side. So left hand comes through, resting the weight on the left shoulder, right hand presses into the floor. And as you exhale, release the body into the left shoulder, softening, releasing and opening. Next time you inhale, bringing the hands back, press your way up, coming onto a tabletop. And then just for the forearms, if you've been doing any deadlifts or anything where your grip's been worked, this is a really nice stretch. So just paw the floor with the heels of your hands. So doing one at a time, shifting the weight from one side to the other. And then maybe if you want to, if you can tolerate both at once, you can rock forwards and backwards. And perhaps find a position that gives you a good stretch where you can pause for 2 or 3 breaths here. Releasing the hands back to the normal way. Let's tuck the toes under. Walk yourself back until you're on the tiptoes. And we're going to finish with a nice deep squat to open up the inner thighs. So elbows inside the knees, press the knees out, lengthen up the spine, sink the bum down. And we'll just take 2 more breaths here. Let the bum come low, let the knees go out. On your next exhale, bring the hands down, wriggle the feet into the middle, tuck the chin, and roll up slow. Coming to standing, spreading, broadening the fingers. Namaste.